Well, here we are again. This here is kind of a petition, and I I found that I may very well be unemployable, at least temporarily. Well, I strongly feel this was placed on me by God. It's been I don't know what's the day you're born and the day you find your purpose. And who's to say whether that's what it was or pizza? Well, I guess that'll be shown in the outcome. Either God's going to bless what I'm doing or He's not, but I believe He will. But in the interim, you're going to have challenges, you're going to have struggles, you're going to have frustrations. And so I've been unemployed for about 4 or 5 months now. And I've entered a season of testing. And things that used to work every time are all of a sudden not working like they used to. And then in the middle of that, new problems came up, which basically negated everything that I built up during that time. It sucked all the money right out of it. So there's a lot of things that get pushed to the next month and the next month and the next month. Here we are 4 months later, and I'm in a spot. And it's kind of, I guess, providential in a sense that I have to find a way out of this. But what makes it appropriate is it puts me in the frame of mind that others are in every day, every month. And it points me to a firsthand case study of what it is we're trying to solve for other people. So it's a blessing in disguise. And it brings me front and center to be able to empathize with those people and create a solution geared toward them. And here is a direct aspect of that. We're looking to create a situation where associates will help out our brothers during times of trouble without a lot of red tape. Ideally, none. If you ask, you qualify, period. Now, our ministry, mission, everything is ordained by God. So if you want to challenge God and do some nefarious stuff, well, that's on you. Um, but we're going to do the best we can do to help you. And what we've come up with is this: you write a story about what generally happened, and then and these translate into your written intellectual property, which can be sold 3 times to a potential angel, ideally anonymously, so that all of a sudden, $129 for your insurance bill gets paid. You have money in the bank, and someone sent you a note, and a thank you note was generated. Thank you for paying my electric bill or whatever it is. So people would write their story, and then under that they would put their list of things they needed, and for every publication that they did, they would be able to have a separate document with the cost for that particular document, and that particular document, say it's rent $550. So you'd be able to sell that rent $550 3 times to someone who was willing to pay it. And what they would get into it is, we're going to give God a chance to be God. And if you're familiar with the book, and I challenge everyone to be so, he says, prove me on this. See if I don't open the windows and pour you out a blessing you can't contain. That might be the car you get for $100. That might be the auto that all of a sudden starts working again. That might be, all of a sudden you get an error reported in your favor at the bank account. So these are some of the ways that God's economy operates, that you as a giver are paid back. And my challenge to you is, do you think you can outbless God? Is that even possible? Or will God's blessings chase you down the street? So what I'm saying is we're taking this Old Testament scripture, and we're going to go ahead and do that and ask God, prove God on this. And I think what this is going to do is going to open up a whole new strain a belief, and it's going to empower our people. And I fully expect God to honor His word. So, therefore, um, there's going to be unlimited funds essentially, as we're going to encourage our people to do this on a standard order basis. So, if once you start seeing success, or even if you haven't seen it yet, and you sow out of your, toward your lack, just $25 every week, or out of every deposit, $25 goes to this program. Then when someone submits one of these particular petitions, you're able to answer that. And in doing so, we're protecting our own. And what I mean by that, and you're going to hear me refer to this a lot. So when I'm talking about red ocean, and when I say red ocean, this is the scarcity, debt, lack system that we're part of. So we're talking about two systems here, and they have different rules. So we're coming out of the red ocean into the blue ocean, and you'll see that as time goes by. But one of the programs that we're introducing is how to keep these people whole until relief comes. And as you know, when you lose a job, it might take you 6 months to get working again. What do you do during that time? Because all of your health, all of your welfare programs that are designed to protect people, some of them, if you don't have a job, you don't qualify. Some of them, if you didn't cross all your T's and dot all your I's on your tax return, you don't qualify. Some of them, if, I don't know, you pick one, but basically this $3,000 a month is coming, and the next month it'll be $6,000. So one false move and your whole house of cards comes crashing down. And it's my contention that if we keep that domino string from being tripped by looking out for our own and paying one or two bills for them, they're going to be in much, much better position to recover than if we wait them to go down to nothing. All their infrastructure is destroyed, and now they're in a homeless shelter, and they've lost all the things they've worked for their entire life over a temporary situation. So we're going to look out for our people this way. And I don't think it's necessarily going to be just bound to us, but we are going to offer this to our free members too, so that they have the advantage of that, and they get a chance to, taste what's possible for their life and give them some hope, because we really do need to look out for people. And I don't care if you're a Satanist, we'll help you too, because it's God's blessing. And who knows, maybe that might be the miracle that you need to receive an alternate way of living. So that's kind of what we got going on. But in the middle of all this, I found myself being the test case. So I've thrown together a website, and there's some links down below for it. We're asking for some provision. And if you have a mind to do it, you're able to do it, please do. It's all the bills are itemized. The top, just pay what you want to pay. The checkout is set at $0. So pay what you want. $1's fine. $5 is fine. The money we get, we're going to apply it how we best need to apply it. I can't lose my phone. I can't lose my internet. That has to be paid first before some of these other things. There's some legal battles coming up I got to face and deal with. It's nothing. Well, it's actually nothing, but we have to handle our own affairs, and that's what's going on. And if you think you're not going to get pushback when you try certain things, well, you probably will get pushback, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be not victorious. Because if you understand God's word, it says, I will give you the words to speak in the hour you need to speak them. I've never been a criminal my entire life. I'm not planning on starting a new crime spree anytime soon. But nonetheless, things happen. And now, given certain conditions, because of some of this stuff, I don't think I'm going to be able to get hired. Because even though I haven't had so much as a parking ticket on my record my entire life, all of a sudden now maybe I have a record. I don't know. I didn't even believe it when they told me. I had to go get legal people to go check in because I didn't even want to call them. I'm allergic to this system, man. I stay out of there every chance I can because I know what a quagmire it is. So nonetheless, there are some issues that we're trying to deal with, and we are. And whether you help or not, God will provide. We have to plan on depending on God, but he uses other men and women to do that. And so we have this set up for myself right now because, like I said, I'm the first case study in this. And from there, if it's anonymous, then only God can get the glory. And we have to be sure we praise and worship God. So there'll be a page there for testimony too, because it says we overcome by the word of our testimony. Look what God did for me is basically what that is. Maybe there was the time when, maybe it was the time when, maybe it was the time when, maybe it was the time when. And others see this and are like, wow, that's kind of cool. Maybe I want a little bit of that action. But one of the things we're looking to do, one of the first things we set up is the ability to help provide for our own. People are hurting out there, people. They really are. And the success and abundance of the blue ocean that we're creating is going to create a boatload of leaders who are now going to, all of a sudden, maybe for the first time, be able to start habits like this and be able to create some sort of standing order where they just, and then as soon as something drops, boom, it's paid, and some of this will be set up in the form of a trust so that we keep people's hands out of everything and minimal involvement so that the people that put up these, one could purchase them. And that way they're purchasing a publication. There's no donation, so there's a whole lot less red tape. So that's kind of how we have this set up. And if you see a link and you click on it, it happens to be my petition, you'll get a chance to read about my story. Blah, 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 blah. Boo-boo is me. Hey, these days, man, I'll tell you what, it's getting crazy scary out there. And what we're finding is that this red ocean is set up to turn you all into fish in a barrel. And trafficking is mentioned. But it's not just child trafficking. It's financial trafficking of everybody. And when you realize to the degree that it is, just pray that you're able to hear it, or that I might have the have the belief that you can be trusted if I tell you what happens, so you don't go cause trouble that I don't want you to cause in my name. But nonetheless, there are certain groups that they're all scrambling for money right now, and we're fish in a barrel, basically. But we're going to give you a chance to escape all that. But in the meantime, we got to keep our boat floating. And at this time, we don't have any desire to scrap everything we've ever acquired in our lifetime to begin again from a homeless shelter. All it takes is one or two, and next thing you know, that whole domino thing gets triggered, and guys like this, have to go find somewhere else to go get their dog food because I can't do it no more. So this is no pity party. God will provide, but this is your chance to operate as the vehicle to make that happen. And like I said, if you don't do it, someone else will, or God himself will find a way. So nonetheless, good day. I just want to let you know what's going on with that. And as I said, this will better enable us to prepare for your needs and what the most efficient way of handling that is. So thank you so much, and y'all have a great day.